It is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026, 7 p.m. I will call the city council meeting to order. Clerk Everett, will you please call roll?
Councilmember Huckabee.
Here.
Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Lesko Hair.
Here.
Councilmember Price. Here. President Jacob.
Here. Counted for, thank you. Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I invite everybody to stand. Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Item 4, consent agenda. The consent agenda outlined below is hereby presented for action by the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on request of any one council member. Items not removed may be adopted by one action without debate. Removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of council president.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed, items 4A through 4G.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public hearings. Tonight we have none. Item 6, public comment for matters on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following for the record when called upon. Name, address, and contact information. Note for those on Zoom, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored, and those on the call must remain muted to speak unless recognized to speak. We don't have anyone signed up in person tonight, so this will be a first call for anyone on Zoom. Second call for anyone on Zoom. Seeing none, I will close out and we'll move on. Item 7, petitions, requests, and communications. We have none tonight. Item 8, resolutions and ordinances. 8A is review and possible action relating to a resolution in support of Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Community Development Investment Grant. Director Drager. It's a mouthful.
Yeah, thank you. I won't repeat it. Yes, this is a resolution in support of a grant application. CDI grant program supports urban and small city, rural communities and development efforts. There are various matching investments depending on the type of project. This is it would be in support of a project brought forward by Andrew Logan, Blackhawk Phase 2 LLC, for the property located at 311 South Main, which is the abandoned building just down the street there, vacant. It is for a redevelopment project, as you can see in the concept plans that were in the packet. It is for 17 residential units. Those are stacked units, relatively compact. They're meant to be affordable, yet new and nice. So with this resolution, it would not be in full support of the entire site plan and every other part of the project that would have to come forward in for approvals, including the certified survey map, like I said, the site plan, which would be all the landscaping. This is in support of the concept that the city would be in support of a project of this type in the location. Going on with for that, like I said, there would be a thorough site plan review and conditional use permit approval for multiple buildings. I do also want to point that the Plan Commission did review the concept plan on May 15th and showed general support, but did offer some feedback on a few site-related things. So anyway, with that, there is no direct financial impact to the city. One thing to note that the city is only allowed to support one of these types of projects per year. So this would be the one for this upcoming year. We have not had any recent applications, any requests for support of this, so we don't feel like we're pushing anybody out with that. And then with that, staff does recommend the city council approve the resolution in support of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Community Development Investment Grant. And I would welcome any questions you may have.
Do you remember approximately when the last request for this was?
We did go through pretty thoroughly with Aaron and Mitch Patterson with the Patty Shack building. They did not end up applying. but we spent a lot of time with them and with WEDC, and I believe that was in 2023.
Thanks.
Prior to that, I don't think it was during my time, so it would have been prior to 2021 if there was a resolution in support. The program has changed substantially since then. Previously, it was the municipality would receive the funds and then allocate them to the business that was applying for the grant. This removes the city as the middle person, so the applicant can apply directly to WEDC with the city's support. So the WEDC's perspective, they don't want a project to move forward that they provide a grant for and then it get, denied by the land use applications are denied by the governing body or the plan commission of that community. So this is their way. The applicant applies directly to WEDC, has to kind of prove their case to WEDC, and the city's role in this is just simply to offer this resolution of support for the project in general.
I move to approve the resolution in support of a Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Community Development Investment Grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Thank you.
I'm excited to hopefully see this move forward. It's a great location.
All right. We have motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 9A, City Manager's Report. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. I was recently interviewed by Spectrum News 1, which was a great opportunity to brag about the quality of life here in Fort Atkinson and all the fantastic economic and housing development happening. That the story is linked through our website. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, please do. The city has received and executed an offer to purchase for 2 additional single-family residential lots in the Ridgeview Estates subdivision with Intrepid Investments. We are scheduled to close in early September on that. So it's a couple more lots with a couple more houses that will be constructed this year. Associated Appraisal held open book in person last week and met with 80 homeowners. In addition, there were about 150 phone inquiries about the new assessments. The Board of Review will meet on Thursday, July 30th to consider any formal objections from property owners. Recall that when assessed values increase, the mill rate decreases and tax bills generally remain the same. We, up to this point, have not received any formal applications for Board of Review, but we will meet on Thursday, the 30th. The Joint Review Board, which is a different thing that governs our tax increment districts. The Joint Review Board will meet on Monday, July 27th at 3 p.m. to finalize the creation of TID 11, the amendment number 1 to TID 9. The JRB will also review the 2025 TID project or TID reports, for TIDs 6, 7, 9, and 10. And also the Joint Review Board will review the first draft of the project plans for the proposed TIDs 12 and 13 in the city's downtown. The project plans are available on the city's website, and the Plan Commission will hold a public hearing at the meeting on July 28th at 4 p.m. Just as the previous project plans came to this body, those project plans will come to this body in August. Tomorrow, I will attend the League of Wisconsin Municipalities League Locally event in Oregon. The event includes a training session and a member roundtable. And I was happy to represent the city as a judge for the Youth Entrepreneur Contest sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce at the Farmers Market on July 18th. Congratulations to the winners, the Lemon Cruisers, WR Custom Jigs, Big Xander Bates, and the Muffin Man. Those were the 4 contest winners for various categories. It was a really fun event, and it was really nice to see a lot of people downtown on Saturday and Sunday. And to that end, the Dwight Foster Public Library was delighted to be part of the Langhoff's Grown Up Book Fair on July 18th and 19th, celebrating the love of books and reading in Fort Atkinson. 582 people made confetti bookmarks at the library on Saturday and at a table at the Fort Atkinson Club on Sunday. And those are just the folks that went to the library and the Fort Atkinson Club. So there was a lot of activity. The smoke on Sunday did not keep people away. It was a really wonderful event. The library's summer reading program continues through the end of July. Community members of all ages are still encouraged to participate. And on Tuesday, July 28th, Wisconsin author Amy Pease will be at the library to discuss her books in the North Woods series about a deputy sheriff in a small town. And finally, the city's summer photo contest continues. Residents are encouraged to submit contest entries through August 10th, 2026, and winners will then be announced on August 17th. And if you're interested, there's plenty more information on the city's website. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Item 10, unfinished business. We have none tonight. Item 11, 11A is new business review and possible action relating to a purchase of a new water meter reading receiver and rugged laptop computer. Water Superintendent Armstrong.
Good evening. As we all know, we all read meters once a month around town, and our meter reading equipment, long story short, it died. It reached the end of its life, so there's no replacement parts available anymore. So while this whole new system comes at a much higher cost, it's going to be significant more robust. It's going to, I mean, keeps our times down reading. We go from 8 hours down to 3 hours, so that makes a big difference on impacting our time and even down in the billing clerk's time to get that stuff downloaded quicker, get it out processed quicker. I said, it just improves our efficiency of reading. Like I said, it came at a lot higher cost, but it's being more robust stuff. We hope it's going to provide just the more dependable years, same amount of dependable years of service for more years to come, or as many years to come too. So, but like I said, it was an unbudgeted item. It kind of, we talked about it, we borrowed one, and all of a sudden we made comment about kind of trying to get one else. The next thing I know, here it is, like, okay, what am I gonna do now? So here we are. So we do have it already, but it is proven to be a valuable tool already for us when it comes to reading. So like I said, it was a bigger cost than what we anticipated, but that rugged laptop is what kind of threw it over the edge. But we needed the higher powered laptop to power the antennas to help read better. We're picking up like 2 or 3 blocks at a time versus driving around for 2 or 3 blocks. We can get 2 or 3 blocks in one block. So it's a win-win it was, like I said, not expected expense, but that old cliche, we got to spend money to make money. And that's truly right here. So,
Only in the utility can you say that.
so like I said, we recommend approval of it through that. So, but like I said, it was unbudgeted, and Midwest Meters is kind of a proprietary thing, but we've worked with them for a number of years. So, I mean, we trust their judgment and their stuff on it. So that's it. Any questions?
How long ago was it that you used to still have to go around, like physically read every meter?
At the houses,
Yeah.
up until I started 3.5 years ago, we we're still doing that, some of them. Matter of fact, we just had one we finally got rid of after hounding her for what, 3 years. Her husband had passed away. They moved to Florida, and there's a whole history behind the thing. She would not let us in the house. So we finally should say, it said we might have to disconnect her services if we cannot get in to do this. It was the only one we had left. We finally got it done. So now everyone in the city of Fort, we ride around. Like I said, we went from 8 hours plus down to basically 2.5 hours to read them also. And there's discussion again, down the road, we could be going to meter reading once a month for both sides down. So that would cut this time drastically. So, I mean,
And it was as a reward for removing all of those red meters, Jeff gets to retire.
yeah. I'll be back next month for,
Gonna say you're making sure and leaving your department capable, right?
yep, passing the torch, getting everything taken care of, hopefully. So a
Mm.
lot easier transition. So
So are there any other pieces to this system?
just basically a laptop, and then just an antenna system that mounts on the truck and plugs into the laptop. You look like we're riding around like we're from Star Wars or something like that.
Okay,
Star Wars, but I don't know.
but there's no other components that might be coming up.
Nope, that
Okay.
should be it.
Okay.
Just the
This
truck
is
next
really-
month. Just the truck next month, right?
Yeah, just struck next month to read. So yeah, it's going to be, I think this is expensive. Where do you see that?
I move to approve the purchase from Midwest Meters in the amount of $18,700 for a new receiver antenna system and ruggedized laptop computer.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thanks. We'll see you next month.
Yep. Item 11B, review and possible action related to the 2027 road rehabilitation and water relay design amendment number 2, Director Needham.
Good evening. So back in January of 2025, council had approved the design contract for the then 2026 water main replacement and street improvements. This project's been delayed until 2027 due to the funding challenges with 2026 road projects. Staff has also implemented a walkthrough phase of the project where we can walk it with our design engineer to try to catch as many of the oddities that we can right away, and we can really define the scope of the project to the best of our abilities before they start digging into design. Due to the timing of myself coming on board and the project delays getting up to speed, this walkthrough happened a little bit later than desired, which, so through that walkthrough, we did identify a couple opportunities to make improvements to the project. Now is the time to make those improvements in the design phase versus coming back with additional change orders once the project has started. So some of those improvements include safety and services delivery improvements, including redesigning an alley along Oak Street. In the packet, you'll see the image where the alley currently comes out at the intersection. We'd love to improve that and pull it and have the egress on Oak Street versus right at that intersection, as well as installing a cul-de-sac at the end of Oak Street. That will take the purchasing of property from those individuals. So those conversations have started. But this, the council would see that before that came back if we were to move forward with those. Right now, the biggest priority is that cul-de-sac at the end of Oak Street. The alley could be redesigned at another time if need be. But as I stated, staff has been in communication with those property owners and started those conversations. So the attached task order provides a breakdown of the costs associated with each amendment, totaling $25,747. This amendment will be divided appropriately between the sanitary and storm utilities as well as transportation fund, funds 2, 10, and 5. Staff recommends the City Council approve task order 2025-02, amendment 2 at cost not to exceed $25,747. And with that, I'll take any questions.
I will also mention that the proposed cul-de-sac at the end of Oak Street does allow a couple of single-family lots to be created by the property owner and potentially a couple new single-family dwellings to be added in that area.
I move to approve task order 2025-02, amendment 2 at a cost not to exceed $25,747.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'm just a little fuzzy on, I think because I'm directionally challenged with the alley redesign
Sure.
document that's attached. I can't get that to work in my head. So if you go to the 517, where it's an aerial photo, it,
It's rotated.
okay. Yes. So can you point on there where the alley would be?
Oh yeah, it would come right through here instead of where it is right now. It's right here.
Yep.
It'll come right here.
Okay. And then that would go to green space. Okay.
Correct.
Thank
And
you.
It's hard to see on that map, that 517 map, but
Mhm.
the alley outputs right at the intersection of Oak and what's the other street, Zach, down there?
Harrison.
And Harrison. So it's a safety concern. So if
Oh,
we
it
can.
totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I just couldn't get that second alley redesign to go right in my head. So
Sure.
thank you.
Of course.
Any other discussion? Being said, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11C, review and possible action relating to the release of a request for proposals for strategic planning facilitation services. Manager Hostman.
Thank you. So one of the goals outlined in the 26 budget was to engage with a consultant on a citywide strategic planning process. This will create a mission, vision, and value for the organization while looking ahead to the future. With the memo, you have a request for proposals for strategic planning facilitation services. City staff is not necessarily required to ask permission on these things. However, I have found it best practice to kind of give the council and the public a heads up that we're starting a process like this. I think we did a similar thing for our classic cop study and a couple other consulting services that we've requested over the last couple of years. And I think that's been successful in setting some groundwork and some expectations. So the request for proposals includes a tentative schedule, which we would release it tomorrow if authorized by the council today. Proposals would be due on August 19th. We would anticipate the contract award to be around September 1, with the final plan delivered in December of 26. Obviously, those project timelines are subject to change, both on staff availability, council availability for meetings, as well as a consultant proposal. So there's lots of information in your memo about the benefits of strategic planning. There is no cost to issue a request for proposals. The project itself was included in the 2026 budget document with an estimated cost of $50,000. And the source of those funds were in the 2026 levy-funded capital improvements project budget. So staff does recommend that the city council authorize the city manager to release the RFP to known qualified firms and to post on the city's website and the League of Wisconsin Municipalities, the Wisconsin City County Managers Association, with proposals due on August 19th, 2026. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
If we wind up going forward with this and the target dates that are not necessarily set in stone, but would it be, do you anticipate that it would be 2028? That anything that comes out of that would, any projects would be initiated, or would you hope that there would be, could be something started in 2027? So this is just a request for proposals and getting the information. I guess what I'm asking, maybe I should have asked it another way. If the final plan is delivered and council adoption goes on December 2026, it would be after our budget is passed. So the expectation is that there wouldn't be anything in the 2027 budget.
So what the goal would be once we have a mission, vision, values for the organization is we would incorporate those into our budget document. We would incorporate those into our staff reports, right? Every staff report that would come forward to the city council would include something, an element of how is this in line with our strategic plan? So like the strategic plan will be an engaging process that includes the public, the city council, city staff, really anybody who wants to engage in that to set that mission, vision, and values. And then from there, there'll be goals, and those goals will then be incorporated into the budget document. And even if the budget document is, quote unquote, status quo as far as not adding additional services, it's really important, I think, for the community as well as the city as an organization to be able to rally around a specific set of values and a specific mission. And it's helpful for our staff for us to be able to point to those things and say, this is how you in this role within this organization can help us get to this goal and help us help us get to the vision that we want to see ourselves as a city. And so obviously stakeholders will be involved in creating that vision. And then we'll have mission statements. Some of our departments have kind of their own mission, vision, value statements. I know our police department does, and they talk about that during the budget process. My hope would be that we ensure that any other mission, vision, value from a department is in line with our overall mission for the city and the services that we provide. So doing something like this doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we're going to get out of our lane as far as, take on a bunch of new services. We're not in that space, right? Local government is not in the space to be expanding services, but we are in the space to be, defining what we are providing and making sure we provide it in the best way possible and that we're serving our residents and that the community and the council are supportive of the things that we're trying to accomplish. I think it puts us all on the same page, right?
And so this would be like in line with our comprehensive plan that was done back in 2022.
I think 2019 was the last update for the comp plan. So I think we will in the CIP, we will have a comp plan update likely in 27. A strategic plan is not a comp plan, but they work in concert with each other, right? And a comprehensive plan is not a strategic plan, but they work in concert with each other. So having this document done will be helpful for the comprehensive plan update that we are proposing in 2020, or that we will propose in 2027.
I move to authorize the city manager to release the RFP for strategic planning services to qualified firms and to post on the city's website, the League of Wisconsin Municipalities website, and the Wisconsin City County Managers Association website.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11D, review and possible action relating to a certified survey map for the property located at 827 Banker Road. Director Drager.
Thank you. Yeah, so this certified survey map is related to a site plan review that was reviewed by the Plan Commission on the 14th last week, which was approved with conditions, including review and approval of this certified survey map. This certified survey map came about during initial discussions with the applicant regarding their site plan, which is related to a new accessory building that they're proposing on the site. Staff noticed that the site had two separate parcels along with some discrepancy along boundaries. So with working with the applicant, they agreed to have a certified survey map completed to map out the existing property and combine those parcels. As you can see in the Plan Commission memo, there were several discrepancies that were noticed that varied from what the county GIS map had and what from staff knowledge was. And those were corrected. You can also see on the preliminary map that there is a dedication of roadway that was previously part of their parcel, which was not known to city staff until this process, which is a pretty good reasoning for why that is a request and a requirement of our land division and development ordinance to combine those parcels and to provide a CSM in these situations. So with that, there were several mapping errors discovered. Like I said, I already pointed out the boundaries. I will point out that the applicant did provide an updated preliminary map as of today, which did correct the items that were part of the conditional approval from the recommendation, I should say, from the Plan Commission. And also, there was a comment from Plan Commission regarding outdoor equipment. It's a cold storage building, so there is no additional equipment that will be on the building, so there's no need for screens. So that removes that concern as well. With that, there is no financial impact to the city necessarily, other than this helps facilitate the construction of another accessory building. And that with that, staff and Plan Commission recommend the city council approve the certified survey map located at 827 Banker Road, subject to the conditions outlined in the Plan Commission memo. Welcome any questions.
I move to approve the CSM located at 827 Banker Road, subject to the conditions outlined in the Plan Commission memo.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 11E, review and possible action relating to an extraterritorial certified survey map for a property located at N2682 Coons Road, CSM 26-09. Director Drager.
All right, thank you. This is similar to CSM's extraterritorial CSMs we've seen in the past and quite a few recently, to be honest with you. This one does lie within the 1.5 mile boundary, which is subject to Plan Commission and City Council review or City Council approval. This one is shown on the city's future land use map as agricultural and rural, which also does designate existing farmsteads and rural residential. So it is in concert with the city's comprehensive plan. The property is also located within the city's designated long-range urban growth area, but it is not viewed as anything that is going to be developed in the foreseeable future. There was also some small mapping errors here, as well as the public right-of-way that is shown on there. As we seen in the past, this is something the county does not ask for, or does the town of Conshohocken, and the staff has asked the plan commission and city council to waive the requirement for that. It is required as part of our land division and development ordinance, but as we've discussed in the past, per state statute, it is designated as public right of way for the length of time that it has been such. The plan commission did review and propose the proposed CSM on July 15th and did recommend city council approve it. Does not expect to have any financial impact on the city, and staff and the plan commission recommend the city council approve the CSM for the property located at N2682 Coons Road, subject to the corrections outlined in the plan commission memo. I welcome any questions you may have.
I move to approve the CSM located at N 2682 Coons Road, subject to the corrections outlined in the Plan Commission memo.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank
Thank you. Item 11F, review and possible action relating to a disallowance of a claim against the city of Fort Atkinson, Velquez Reyes. Clerk Everett.
Thank you. As the council recalls, we're with the insurance company of the League of Wisconsin Municipalities Mutual Insurance. When we have claims submitted to the city, they are sent to statewide services for review, who administers them. They perform the investigation, obtain any facts regarding the claim, perform any additional research. On July 9th, 2026, I received a notice of incident from a driver. They stated that they had come up to a vehicle and drove around them, and a rock damaged a part of their vehicle. They submitted a claim to us requesting a liability review through our statewide insurances, so it was submitted. Statewide did recommend disallowing the claim based on the fact that the investigation revealed no liability, as the city was not aware of the alleged rock. Road shoulders are not maintained as roadways, and operators assume a risk when operating off the roadway. So at this point, we would recommend that the city council disallow the claim. Pursuant to state statute 893.801 parent G, disallowing the claim does limit the time for the claimant to respond to the city within limits it to 6 months for a response.
I move to disallow the claim against the city of Fort Atkinson pursuant to Wisconsin statutes 893.80 parent 1 parent G.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, miscellaneous. Tonight we have none. Item 13, public comment for matters not on the agenda. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon: name, address, subject matter, and contact information. No action will be taken on any public comment. Note for those on Zoom, please raise your virtual hand as a chat box not monitored and must remain muted unless recognized to speak. We did not have anyone sign up in person tonight, so this will be a first call for those on Zoom. Second call for anyone on Zoom wishing to provide public comment. We'll close out public comment. Item 14, claims, appropriations, and contract payments. 14A, review and possible action relating to the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorized payment.
I move to approve the verified claims as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Huckabee.
Aye.
Councilmember Johnson.
Aye.
Councilmember Lesko Hair.
Aye.
Councilmember Price.
Aye.
President Jekyll.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 15, adjournment.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.